Yes, so my name's Lawrence. I'm here today to talk about a little bit of myself and what it's like being an author and my book, Terror at the Sweet Shop. But before I go into it, perhaps read you a little bit from the book. Who here likes to read? So put your hands up if you like to read. Brilliant, lots and lots of you. Is there anyone here that doesn't like to read? Yeah, proudly doesn't like to read, okay. Rather be playing FIFA on the PlayStation or watching EastEnders, that's fine. Because I didn't like reading until I got to a bit sort of older age at primary school. I really struggled with reading and I just wasn't interested in books at all. But when I got to about the age of 9, I discovered the first book that I really enjoyed, and that was James the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. And because of Roald Dahl and his stories, it really got me into reading. I started to read more of Roald Dahl's work, such as Charlie and Chocolate Factory, the BFG, the Twits, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and my favourite, which is probably Matilda, is probably my favourite Roald Dahl book. And after reading Roald Dahl's books, I got into reading other authors, such as the Goosebumps books. Anyone here read the Goosebumps books? Remember them when you were a bit younger? And there's a really nice book series I like called the Harry Potter books. Anyone heard of them? Yeah, I thought a few of you might. And even now I read some of David Walliams' children's books. So who likes reading books by David Walliams? Yeah? Brilliant. And as I got a bit older, sort of into secondary school and going into college and university, I really got interested in creative writing. Anyone here likes to do any sort of creative writing, whether it's writing stories, writing music? Yes? A few of you? Brilliant. I'm going to sort of open it up now. So when you're writing or trying to think of ideas for characters or stories, where might you get ideas from? Put your hands up where you might get ideas from. Yeah. Other books, yes, you might be inspired by other authors or stories, yeah. Your personal life, yes, things that have happened to you in the past. Anything else? No? Okay. We all dream, don't we? So I think a weird thing with dreams is that sometimes you wake up and you think, that was a really strange dream I had last night. You know, this happened, that happened, and my dad was made of custard, and my granddad was flying in the air. And all these strange things can happen in your dreams sometimes. And by the time you have your breakfast, you've completely forgot about the dream that you had last night. So what I try and do is in my books, and my dreams, is I quickly write those ideas down before I forget them. Because I always find it useful when I'm trying to think of a new idea for a story or a character. I have this little notebook where I write all my thoughts down, and it can always give me a good starting point for a story or a character. So I always think that's worth doing for the creative writers amongst you here today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my book now, Terror at the Sweet Shop. But who here likes to go to the sweet shop? Yeah, come on, adults, I know you like it too. I still do. So this book was based kind of on an idea I got when I was at school. Me and my friend used to go to the same sweet shop every day after school, like most of us did after school. And the sweet shop was run by a really nice man. And one week, this nice guy that all the kids liked, he wasn't there. He was obviously ill on holiday or something. And the sweet shop was taken over by this really miserable lady. That she never smiled, never spoke to the kids, always looked unhappy, and didn't look like she wanted to be there, kind of slammed the till shut, sort of pushed the sweets onto you. And I always remembered that lady. When I was sort of reminiscing on my old school days, I thought, what if I took that lady and made her really evil? And that's where the idea from the sweet shop, this Terror at the Sweet Shop, came from. So I'm just going to read you part of the story now. It's about these 4 friends that you see in the top left, sorry, your left, top left, here on the screen. We have a boy called Oscar, a boy called Reese, a girl called Emma, and a boy called Ishmael, known as Ishi to his friends. And these 4 friends go to the same sweet shop every day after school, and the sweet shop's run by a really nice man called Mr. McNulty. But one day, Mr. McNulty's disappeared, and the sweet shop's been taken over by this horrible lady called Miss Primrose that you see on the front cover here. And she's really horrible to all the kids and serves really disgusting sweets. Like rather than licorice worms, she serves real worms. She serves frog's eyes. She takes the hair of old people and says it's candy floss. She does all these disgusting things in the sweet shop to the kids. So the kids are trying to find out what Miss Primrose has done to the nice sweet shop owner, Mr. McNulty, and try and stop her serving all these horrible treats to the kids that go to their school. But to do that, they need to come up with a plan to get the shop closed for a few days. So they managed to get hold of the world's smelliest stink bomb called the Reekfest 4000. And they think if they set off this stink bomb in the shop, it will smell so bad in the shop that hopefully that will give them a few days to try and find out what's happened to Mr. McNulty, the nice sweet shop owner, with the shop being closed. They also have a sort of backup option as well. They get a boy in their class called Mikey, who's known for doing the smelliest farts in school. And they think if they set off the stink bomb and Mikey's fart at the same time, it will smell so bad in the shop that hopefully they'll definitely give him enough time to try and find out what's happened to Mr. McNulty. So I'm just going to read you part of the story now where they set off the stink bomb and Mikey's fart. in the shop, and to adults, I'm going to apologise in advance. The next day, when the bell rang and the gang met after school, it was the moment of truth. Mikey arrived bright red, sweating buckets. His hands were clammy, and he kept blinking due to the sweat running in his eyes. The whole gang was nervous. Their hearts were pounded like drum beats as soon as the bell rang. "Are you okay, Mikey?" asked Emma. "Yeah, this just happens when I get nervous," Mikey replied. "Don't worry, Mikey. This idea is flawless," reassured Oscar. "Yeah, don't get so worked up," added Reese. "It's not just that. I've been holding that curry ever since lunch when you warmed up for me in food tech. I've been fighting it ever since," Mikey explained. "Yeah, guys, judging by the look of him, we shouldn't waste much time. We need to go right now," she insisted. The group marched to the shop as quickly as they could, with Mikey slowly waddling behind them like a bloated penguin. They had to move quickly, otherwise Mikey would explode before they even made the shop. The plan was simple. Emma had to distract Miss Primrose at the counter while Oscar and Reese prepared the Reekfest 4000. Then Ishi had to give Mikey the signal for when to let rip. The group walked into the shop, their hearts beating like drums due to the nerves. Miss Primrose snarled at them as they walked in, before sniggering as she spotted Mikey. "Well, look who it is," she cackled. "Come for second helpings, have we?" Miss Primrose approached Mikey slowly. She stared at him intensely. There was something quite hypnotic about her eyes. They could almost send a person into a trance. It looked as though Miss Primrose was about to make an example out of Mikey once again, but Emma diverted her attention so the boys could set up the plan. "Miss Primrose, this jar of frog's eyes looks very, very interesting. I'd very much love to know what sweets they're made of," Emma said. Miss Primrose rolled her eyes at inconvenience before revealing a crooked smile. Another potential victim, she thought, as she slithered like a serpent towards Emma and the jar which she referred to. "Well, these sweets are awfully special. Quite a unique taste, I must say." "You know what, my dear? I'll even let you try one free of charge to see if you like them," said Emma, as she drew closer and closer to Emma. She grabbed one of the frog's eyes out of the jar and reached out to Emma. As it drew ever closer to her mouth, everyone was positive it was a real frog's eye. "Oh no, I couldn't possibly have one for free," said Emma, as she slowly backed away, thrusting the frog's eyes back towards a grinning Miss Primrose. "Oh dear child, don't worry, I insist. It's only fair that a sweet child like you gets her just desserts," Miss Primrose murmured. A hiss broke the tension as Miss Primrose's cat leapt forward, snatching the eye from her outstretched hand. It seemed that the cat was very keen on the taste of frog's eyes. Oscar knew there was now no more time to spare. They had to act before she grabbed another. "Now," he whispered to Ishi. Ishi was hoping for a more dramatic countdown, but Mikey couldn't wait any longer. 10, 9, 8, 7, Ishi muttered to Mikey. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Mikey called out as quickly as he could before letting rip. It was the biggest, smelliest fart Mikey had ever done. It was the loudest fart any of them ever heard. It was the loudest fart any of them ever heard about. It was as if the entire world went silent just so that fart might exist. The foul, disgusting gas that Mikey released swam past Ishi, pushed past Oscar and Reese, and crawled past Emma. Then, that demon fart that seemed to have a mind of its own dived into the face of Miss Primrose. You could almost hear the impact as it landed on her face. Miss Primrose stumbled a few steps back as it slammed into her. Silence filled the shop, but Mikey began to feel the aftermath. "Houston, we have a problem," Mikey said in horror. Although Mikey had done the fart the gang knew he was capable of, he certainly didn't do his pants any favours. Miss Primrose began assessing the fart in the air. She even went as far as to stick her tongue out into thin air to taste it. Although she was repulsed by the smell, she was determined to track down the culprit. It didn't take her longer than a few seconds to direct her attention straight to Mikey. "You!" she screamed. "How dare you spread your rotten bowel gas in my shop?" She was halfway to Mikey before Oscar and Reese yelled, "Leg it!" The gang had only a few seconds as the Reekfest 4000 was about to explode. They turned and ran, diving out of the doorway before the shop shook with the exploding rumble of the Reekfest 4000. They turned around and saw an oppressive dark green gas fill the windows and slowly began to sneak out of the cracks in windows and doors. The gang looked on at the shop. Surely Miss Primrose would require nose surgery and a team of experts to eliminate the vulgar stench that would linger there for days. The planet succeeded. The group were overjoyed, all except Mikey, who simply said, "I really need to change my pants." And that's the part of the story where they set up. Thank you. That's the part of the story where they set off the stick bomb and Mikey's fart in the shop. A lot of people ask me, what's the most difficult thing about being an author? And I think, for me, what is the most difficult thing is kind of getting criticism and kind of being told sometimes when you do something creative and you perhaps write your first draft of something and you send it to people and you ask for feedback, and sometimes people can be very blunt about telling you what you think. In my experience of when I was trying to get into writing books for children, I did get a lot of advice, and there's people that are far more intelligent than me that tried writing books, and but once they sort of had their first draft rejected, they kind of gave up. And I always say to people that whatever you want to do, just never give up, because there's people that I'm inspired by who got rejected the first time. People like Walt Disney, Roald Dahl, J.K. Rowling, all these people rejected the first time. J.K. Rowling, I recently shared one of her letters of rejection she got from the publisher for Harry Potter. And in that letter it said he didn't feel like this book would appeal to children. So you wouldn't like to be that publisher right now. So whatever it is that you want to do, not just if you want to be an author, whatever you want to do in life, whether it's a footballer, you dream of playing for Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool or Manchester United, or if you're really ambitious, maybe Newcastle. Maybe sometimes it doesn't work out, and you get told you're not good enough. I'd say never give up and just always follow your dreams. And the one thing I want to say to you today is don't be anything less than everything you can be. So thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.